My thoughts on the censorship on the Skullgirl games. For starters, what's the purpose of taking a game that's been out for a long time and censoring stuff out? Because a game that's been out a long time, what makes it worse, the team that made the game is willing to sell out and basically say they would rather they would rather suck up to these people that are so sensitive to anything in a video game that we're supposed to censor it out. Then what's the point of them even just to keep the Skullgirl game going? To me, it's sad in the world we live in that video games get censored down or new groups get created to go control what we do because they're controlled by just people that don't like anything in the world. So they think they have, so they in their own way think they have the power to police us and tell us that what we shouldn't say or not do in a video game. I mean, even when video games first began, we never did this stuff. It's getting to the point that these so-called group being created to say they get to say, you know what, we can't have this, we can't have that in the game. For a mature game, then it's saying then why do they kill what's in a Skullgirl game? Oh, it's a fighting game. If they don't like what's in it or the stuff that happens in the game, why do they really kill what's in the game? If they're so ticked off about anything in the game or anything in the fighting game or even a girl showing party or bust off, because it's like as if it's a big old naughty list. In the real world, this is just sad. We can't enjoy games how they used to be. Heck, even in the 90s, it seemed that games didn't have to be so censored down or watered down because a bunch of people basically couldn't get over games. Heck, man, even during the old PlayStation 2 days, games didn't have to be censored down. Because back then, at least you could play a game and say, you know what, it's a nice game. We should enjoy it. Now it seems like more and more certain game systems, even Sony at times, think they have to censor this stuff down because they act like us has grown up, especially us true fans, the ones that grew up with their games that are adults and still enjoy those games, can't because they get something about the game, and next thing you know, they want to censor everything out and turn the game into just a pure trash game with no ideals. This is kind of why Saint Row Reboot got closed down. They lost the studio because they sold out to a bunch of people that cared more about controlling. They basically listened to a girl that just didn't seem like to like anything that was actually what makes Saint Row good, and said, let's just listen to the bad fans that would rather be too sensitive for their own good and make it so boring, because instead of having a game, we should get a bunch of college kids in the story and just call that a game. To me, it was saying that they could have done, in the real world, it's sad. We can't enjoy outlets. Video games for some people are outlets, are the own way for some people to get stuff out of our system, to get that wage out from our system. But we can't do that anymore because people these days, all these really bad, sensitive people, act like we're supposed to be afraid and hide from everything and not enjoy life. They think that we shouldn't have an outlet instead of an outlet, they just want us to be all bottled up full of anger and hatred. And that sort of explains why all these bad stuff keeps happening in the world, because we don't have outlets anymore, because they want to milk all these good outlets out and turn them into this. Oh, it's a big no-no to see this, so it's a big no-no to see that. But I say this about a Skullgirl game. The people that created this game need to wake up and smell the coffee and say, if these so-called groups can't handle a game that's been out for a long time and nobody had a problem against it, or like a lot of people been seeing, you could have offer it as an option to have characters to be covered up or scenes covered up, or versus saying we don't want people to look at this, so we're going to cover it up anyways. Then why do you people even own your company or even make this game? Don't like to say this, but they need to wake up and say, who's more important? The fans that help you build your game and actually help make your game how it was, or sell out to a bunch of people who probably play your game for a day or two and then say, oh, well, basically the game's too hard or it's too insensitive for me. I'm going to play something else. Like, let's see, which fans would I rather listen to? The ones that kill for the game or the ones that play for, not even for a day, get tired of it and say, whatever,